Hi, are you sick and tired of paying hundreds of dollars a month for cable or dish? GNR TV is your answer. These guys have an incredible 100% legal product that is a cord cutter's dream. For as low as $25 a month, you will get over 400 HD channels, including all major sports packages, pay-per-views, premium movies, and entertainment. To get started, all you need is a streaming device, such as an Amazon Fire Stick, internet, and a desire to save a ton of cash. No contracts, no credit checks, no hidden fees. I myself have been a subscriber, and I must say this service is amazing. To learn more, search GNR TV on Facebook or Instagram, and I will also be posting a link on my pages to check out on my podcast website. Lastly, for first-time subscribers, use promo code SIRS30 to save $5 for your first month. GNR TV, streaming done right.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of almost all ages, with parental consent, the Sick Twisted Minds at Sacrificial Pawn Productions brings you a new style of horror film, like nothing you have seen before. There are no cops, no investigations. There is no backstory, no follow-up of the victims who were brutally tortured and murdered. Our story isn't about them. Normal Terror is about a single dad struggling to make ends meet. His son is his first priority. He goes to work, pays his bills, and is generally a great dad. The twist comes after he puts his son to bed. This is where he releases his stress. Some people do yoga, some hit the gym, some go for runs, some people paint on a canvas. An anonymous source once wrote on an abandoned asylum wall, "I never understood people until I took one apart just to see how it worked." If you are rear-ended in traffic, most people's thought runs to anger and their primal instincts of hurting the other party. Sam Neill does not have the ability to stop that primal instinct. Let us take you into the mind of a killer. Normal Terror is a concept from the mind of Sam Mason, who wrote, directed, produced, and is starring in this new age feature film.
Let's get slicing and dicing with Sir Sturdy horror fans. On this podcast, you will hear me and a guest do some movie reviews, random funny horror chats, and whatever else comes to mind. So tune in, kick back, relax, and always remember, I'll see you in your nightmares.
Well, just Jason's mask.
Greasy ass forehead.
We're back, and they just heard you talk about your greasy ass forehead, but welcome to another awesome, exciting episode of Horror with Sir Sturdy. You got your boy Sir Sturdy with me and my brother Henry out in Colorado. Henry, how's it going, nigga?
It's going good. It's going good.
Well, I got something to say, and I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna hear it. I just watched Halloween. The new one again
Which one? Oh,
from
yeah.
2018, and a quote from the father: "I got peanut butter on my penis." Yo,
I don't remember that part.
it's kind of in the beginning ish.
Who said that?
The young girl's father. I don't remember her name.
When he was in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, I guess he was making peanut butter and jelly.
Okay.
He can do a very good. I mean,
It happens. It happens, man.
I guess. I guess. I mean, it's never happened to me, but
It's a common occurrence.
it's a common occurrence.
Yeah.
If you say so, nigga.
Spreading the, in your bread and little boop, falls off.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
Ah, well, thanks for that.
Sound effect and all.
I believe you. I don't think you would lie to me about something like that.
No.
But anyway, let's get into this horror talk. What have you seen lately? Like, what have you been doing lately as far as horror wise? Games, movies, shows?
I've been watching a show called What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm-hmm. How was that?
It's funny. It's got a lot of dry humor, a lot of like observational humor, but
Mhm.
it's a comedy. You know, it's based on a movie, but the show has different characters. But some of the characters from the movie made a cameo in one of the funniest episodes of the season.
Nice. I've actually
Yeah.
seen previews of that show, and I want to check it out, but I'm wondering if I'm gonna have to check it out because me and you
Mm-hmm.
have the same sense of humor, which is very
Yes.
childish,
Very.
so to speak.
But
But
it's um, Wesley Snipes has a cameo in that episode as Blade,
he should.
but they call him Wesley. It's funny. Like they have accents, so it doesn't even sound like they're saying Wesley. It's like Wessie or something like that. But either way, it's hilarious.
Nice, nice.
And there's other cameos too. The guy, what the hell, the wrestler, Batista.
But okay.
Yeah, he has a cameo, and um, the guy that plays Pee Wee Herman, and they're all a part of like the vampire like authority. Like
Mhm.
besides like if people are killed and stuff like that. It's funny. It's funny as hell. And then in the episode before that, they go out clubbing, and they drink the blood of people that are on drugs, like party drugs, and then it affects them.
I
So you
was
can
about
only
to say they
imagine.
gotta be. I gotta watch that. I gotta
Yeah.
check this shit out. I really gotta
And
check this shit out.
since you didn't start from the beginning, you could stream like all the episodes.
I
You
will.
know what I mean? And like,
Oh yeah.
I think you would like it.
Yeah, because I keep seeing the preview. I'm like, this looks funny, but I'm like, when does it come on? I'm like, oh man, I never pay attention when it comes on and shit. But yeah, I gotta check that out. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I mean, this has nothing to do with that show whatsoever. But I've been listening. I've been using this app called Libby, that
Libby.
audiobook thing I told you about a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago, maybe a week.
Libby
And
Day.
it's so dope. Like it's a free app. If you have a library card, you put your library card number in there, and you could just download an audiobook you want to listen to. Listen to the shit. You get 14 days to listen to it. And if nobody, like, say if nobody else has it on hold, like they want to listen to it after you, you can keep it for another 14 days. And
Okay.
I listen to it I listen to it all the time at work. I highly recommend the app. No, this app is not a sponsor. We'll get to that later. But or an ad, or whatever you want to call it. But no, but like this week I brought it up because this week I just finished Pet Cemetery. Like I listened to Pet Cemetery, Christine, Jaws, and Misery, World War Z so far. All awesome freaking books, freaking amazing, fun books. Pet Cemetery was that book is I can't say enough about that freaking book.
Yeah.
Pet Cemetery, like I literally just finished it I think Thursday. And I was just like,
told,
holy
like,
shit.
The movies, even the original one, doesn't completely do the story justice.
Nope. I hear my nephew in the background. Hey, bud, how you doing? I forgot he can't hear me. I gotta wave at him. Oh. But yeah, that book. Oh my gosh! Like you were saying, the movies definitely don't do the book justice at all.
Even the original one.
I see.
Um,
I have to I haven't seen the original one since I was a kid, so I have to. I definitely need to revisit that.
Okay.
But listening to the book and then watching the remake, I'm kind of I did enjoy the remake. Don't get me wrong on that, but I'm kind of disappointed in it only because I feel
Like I said, it was a missed opportunity.
I I was expecting it to be as good as it, if not better, and it was really good.
Good as in like what? Like what were you?
Um, I'll just have to say, just like, cause again, I remember when you gave me the book, like a month before the movie came out, I read the book. Well, I read some of the book, and I couldn't get it finished. That's a long fucking book, so I ended up listening to the audiobook.
Yeah, it's 1,400 pages.
I listened to the audiobook, and I remember telling her, yo, I just finished the audiobook, and we went and seen the movie like that following weekend or whatever. And the thing I liked about, I mean, that was another fucking amazing book, but the thing I liked about that movie was, I know it didn't follow the book step for step, word for word, obviously, because it couldn't, but I feel like it followed the book
Yeah.
more than this new Pet Cemetery did, quite a bit more.
Oh yeah, and but really, if they followed it, you know,
Yeah, well, there's a certain scene that they
the
can't
movie
have
would
in
be,
there.
yeah, the orgy in the sewer, which I think is unnecessary.
Very, but I
But
mean, excluding, I know the movie would be too long and all that. I get that part, but I'm just saying, like, I appreciate how they actually took stuff from the book. You know, like
mhm,
with this new Pet Cemetery, they changed up so much. People already know what the
yeah,
fuck happened. Like, okay, I got a question for you. How did you feel about when they changed it up with Ellie dying instead of Gage in the new Pet Cemetery?
I liked it, but I don't like how they showed it in the trailer.
You know, it's
I
fun.
would have
No, go
That
ahead.
would have been an amazing plot twist surprise
If they didn't
in that
show it.
scene where she died. Yeah. Well, because he pulls Gage out of the road the last minute, and
Hmm.
then that would have been dope. Like, oh, he saved him, and then the second later, boom, she dies, and you're like, ah,
Yeah,
But
but you've seen it in the
there
trailer,
was
and
no there
I
was no surprise at all,
I
other
re-
than the ending.
I remember when the trailer came out. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. When the trailer came out, you were like, "Yo, did you see the It Chapter 2, or sorry, the Pet Cemetery trailer, the second trailer?" I was like, "No." You were like, "Do not fucking watch it." I did not
I
watch it.
text you right after I watched it. I text you.
Yo, you know what had me bad is I don't remember which one of my coworkers it was, but one of my coworkers told me like, "Yo, did you see the It Chapter 2?" Did, I keep saying it. You know what I mean though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, no. I didn't even get a chance. They were like, or no, matter of fact, they didn't even ask me if I seen it. They just talked about it. They just brought it up like, yo, it's crazy how, or it's fucked up how, or it's kind of stupid how they killed Ellie. And I'm like, fuck, yo, I didn't see it yet. I was trying to avoid that shit. My brother told me not
Mm-hmm.
to watch it.
And
And
then
this
a split
motherfucker has to
second saw
go
it
and,
already.
I mean, it's whatever though. But like, I remember me and you were talking about the movie and the part where, remember Ellie's dancing downstairs or whatever? And you
Yeah,
were saying
and
that
in
would have
the
been better if he would have discovered her coming back like that
mhm,
versus how he really discovered her. I agree with you on that,
yeah,
100%. But
because she was dancing in the dress she was buried in.
yeah, and then back to the book. I was just like, oh, wow, this book is so violent and brutal. It's so crazy. Like it makes you,
Mm.
and the book makes you attached to the characters. And I'm like, and
Yeah, because like
it makes you really understand the father. Like when he buried you figure I'm gonna just use an imaginary parent, an imaginary real parent, because I don't want to put this on anybody. So an imaginary parent
it's an imaginary.
and kids. You know what I mean? Obviously, I could just say the movie, but you could just imagine like this guy, what he's going through. Like, first of all, let's say his daughter's cat dies, and that's gonna bother her. He loves his daughter. You do anything you can to keep your children happy,
Mm-hmm.
and then
I just buy a new cat.
yeah, same color cat and
It'd
all
be a
that.
boring movie. I'd be like, yo, hey, man, the cat. Nah, no more cat.
No, it's the same cat.
Don't worry about cat. I
You,
get you a fish.
this nigga buy a whole, this nigga buy a horse. Dad, where's the
Whole new animal.
dad?
Like, yeah, it's the horse. I got him at Old Town Road.
Where,
Brought him back.
yo, what? Yeah, Uncle Aaron was riding up to his dad's house.
So I'm riding at my dad's house. Then
Oh,
what?
I have no
You know,
idea.
you know damn well your dad be tight if a horse shit in his driveway.
He'd probably laugh like, "What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing on a horse? Get that shit out of here! Where did you get that from?" Like, oh
Will
no,
you lose your mind?
you said you're gonna be here
But yeah,
You said you're gonna be here 3 hours ago. Like, well,
you have
holy
to.
shit.
Do you have to obey like the rules of the road on a horse?
I don't know.
I just bring on the sidewalk and just blow it.
I guess from on the Old Town Road has different rules though.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, like with anyway, and then like when
You think there's any horses in the pet cemetery?
there should be.
Mm,
And then when his son dies, again, you can bring them back to life, and it's like, he did it, and you could feel him for that. Like I get it. And then this nigga just started killing people. This little motherfucker started killing people.
Oops.
And
Like you don't have to do that.
nah, and I like the book was just so fucking amazing. I'm just like, wow. And like what I didn't like about the newer movie too was Judd Crandall's wife, how she was already dead in the movie. She dies later on in the book. So you get a chance to know her. Ellie get you know what I mean. The family gets a chance to know her. You get a chance to be kind of attached to her.
Yeah.
But I
And,
go ahead.
but did you notice how remember when Gage comes back in the book and he talks to him before he kills him,
Mhm.
and so did Ellie.
Mhm.
Ellie started messing with him a little bit before she killed him. So I mean, that is closer to the book
Yeah,
than
that part.
Gage, But they a lot of the key scenes they
Mhm.
just dropped the ball on, and
I
they just
agree.
did not have the same um, effect for me as it did in the original one.
Mhm.
Like the kid dying, and then the funeral. Remember, he got into a fight with his father-in-law. The
Yeah,
funeral that didn't happen.
and
You,
they left twice too. Do you remember that?
no.
The first time they left was Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
It
No, that.
was the mother and the two kids, and that's when the cat died. I think like after they had already left, the cat dies, and then he buries the cat and all that. Because Judd, that's when Judd shows them the other part of the pet cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
And the second time they leave is after Gage's funeral, after the fight and all that. When because he's thinking about, I want to bring my son to the pet cemetery. He doesn't say it, but he's thinking about it. So he sends Ellie and his wife to his in-laws, and I'm like that right. I mean, I know they didn't have to do that in the movie, but it would have just been kind of, you know what I mean? It'd have been a little bit different because in the movie they only left the one time after the
Yo,
funeral.
I was dying when he doped up Judd. He put that shit in his drink. He's been listening to too much Cardi B.
Oh man, and Bill Cosby, I guess
Uh,
they picked the wrong time to be drugging people's drink. Like, what's he about to do to him? What's he doing that for? He's old. Shit.
right, he wouldn't have woke up anyways.
The-
He just would have got twisted and fell asleep, and he put the blanket on him. That was nice.
yeah,
That was nice of him. I
I,
wouldn't have done that. I would have slept. I probably would have tipped his chair over.
probably.
Like,
You'd probably
old ass.
you'd probably drugged the wrong drink. Forgot which one was which. This nigga ended up asleep.
I'm like, yo, what happened?
Like, nigga, you drugged yourself again.
It's the
Oh shit.
shit.
But overall though, I did really like that movie overall. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, what is it, Orion trucks? I think I'll give it a 6.
I'd say 7.5.
7.5. I would have to revisit it though. I'd have to rewatch it, and then I would want to watch it against the original.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it on DVD.
But it was again, my feeling too is because I literally just listened to the audiobook. Like I literally just finished it Thursday, just a couple days ago. So that's more fresh in my head than the movie is. I would definitely rewatch it and all that good stuff. I'm gonna rewatch it and watch it all the way through next time. But I don't know. It didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth, but it's just one of those things. I just wish it was a lot better because I'm on record
And
saying that this was going to be my horror movie of the year, and it's definitely not going to. I hope it's not going to be the horror movie of the year, because if it is, that's disappointing. That's kind of disappointing. Like you said, they dropped the ball. They dropped the cat.
they dropped Zelda. But yeah, I was totally hyped up about it. I was more excited for that than I was for It Chapter 2. So
Me too.
that's something.
Like this was my number one horror movie of the year for me. This is the one I was most excited about, and it just kind of, I don't know. I still, you know what? I gotta watch that other Chucky trailer. You and Miles were telling me about that. It was good.
Oh yeah. No, it's not so much a trailer as like a behind the scenes thing.
Okay.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
But I liked that one picture where it shows him watching Andy sleep, and he's like standing by the bookcase
Mm-hmm.
in the shadow. Yo, that is so dope.
Hell yeah. Are you excited for this
But
movie?
No. I am. I'm not going into it expecting it to be anything like
The old,
you
yeah.
know, the original Chucky. So I'm maybe pleasantly surprised.
I'm going with pretty much the same attitude. Like I'm trying to do this with every movie, mainly horror, because that's what this is about.
Hmm.
Go in there with zero expectations and just hope for the best instead of going there with high expectations and you're like, fuck, this shit.
Yeah, that's how I was with that movie Hereditary. Like, it looks so fucking weird, but I'm like, I gotta see this, and I didn't read anything about it, and I think I watched the trailer like once, and then I went and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Or like Tales from the Hood 2 had all those high expectations for it, and then I think the only thing that could have made anything worse was if Nicolas Cage was in it. I would have probably turned
Oh,
it
it was
off.
pure shit.
Yeah, I'm still. Listen, people, that challenge is
No one
still
ever accepted
open
it.
for those listeners. This is for people. That's because nobody liked it. It's not that nobody accepted it. It's nobody liked it.
Yeah. Oh, so bad, so bad.
Horrible. Fucking. Oh my
I'm so
gosh.
glad I didn't pay to see it.
That was like a punishment. Like, you know what I mean? Say if you were back in the day, if that movie came out when we were kids, you was like, you know what, Henry, go to your room. You gotta watch Tales from the Hood Part 2. Fuck.
Oh, oh man. Oh,
Fuck.
frick.
Can't you just beat me? No, because that doesn't work.
That clearly doesn't work. Oh,
Oh,
that's funny. Yeah, but I mean, there was just nothing good about that movie. Like
yeah, that was.
it's a
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
and that's good. But I mean, other than that,
No, that was bad. That was bad.
and it had the original the writer and director. Like, come on.
So,
I want to see Jordan. Was it Jordan Peele
mm-hmm.
and Donald Glover team up
Oh.
and do part 3 or like even redo
Or just.
like a new installment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say a remake because you can't remake that, but
Nah.
just like a different installment.
They do some excellent, excellent, excellent work, both of them.
Exactly.
I would
Like
love to see those two team up.
Us was
I didn't.
it
I
was
still didn't see that. Is it? I gotta see it.
overhyped.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because there's more light skinned people in it? Is that why you're saying that?
That's really nice. Sometimes I don't even notice other light skins. I just don't.
Mm, that's sad.
But
I've heard mixed things about it though. Like,
it's a good movie.
Mhm.
It's not a horror movie. He said it himself. It's not a horror movie.
mhm.
I mean, I don't know what to say other than like, it's worth seeing.
Definitely.
It's not bad by any means. It's not terrible. It's worth seeing.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. And so is Sorry to Bother You. That movie's crazy.
Not a horror movie.
like-
That movie was hilarious.
It was. Oh, you watch it?
Yeah. After you posted that, it's either you or Christian. I posted that clip. Mm-hmm.
I did.
I think I watched it like the very next. If not that day, the next day I watched it.
Yeah. And then the ending with the horses, like what the, yo, when
Old Town
I was
Road.
so fucking confused, like I was tired, and I might have been hanging out with Mary Jane, who knows, but
Mm-hmm.
and then the horse busted out. I'm like, I literally said out loud, like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
Oh shit!
there was nothing like to prepare you for that. You know what I
Not
mean?
at
Like,
all.
there was no horse to be found anywhere. No carrots, no straw, nothing.
Nope. So, what games have you been playing lately, horror wise? I know World War Z because we play that damn near every weekend, which is a fun freaking game.
It is.
But what other horror games? Because I know you've been playing another one. I just forgot what it's
Days
called.
Gone.
How is that?
It's good. It's like think of like I just say Red Dead Redemption, how it's like the open world and there's like
Okay,
side missions and stuff and wild animals. But
nice.
there's the zombies too. They call them freakers. And sometimes the zombies will be chasing a deer
Mhm.
or a wolf to eat it. And then you can watch them from a distance, chase it down and kill it.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And I was leaving my one camp day before last, and I was playing, and I was coming down the hill, and there was a zombie there's two zombies. There was one just standing there, and the other one was eating a wolf. So I ran into the one and killed it, and then got off, and then killed the other one, and then 3 more wolves came out of nowhere and attacked me. Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to save a wolf,
No,
and these niggas kill you.
I was trying to steal its meat so I could sell it.
Well, I was trying to make you sound better, but all right.
Yeah.
We got wolves coming then.
Yeah, so yeah, it's open world like that, and like you have to craft your weapons, and your weapons break after a while. Not the guns, but like I have a baseball bat with nails,
Mm-hmm.
and after a while, like it'll start 100%, and then every time you use it, it goes down and down and down, and then you have to find a new piece of wood, and then you have to maintain your bike,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to keep it fueled too. So like, I ran out of gas with a bunch of zombies chasing me. I had to ditch my bike and jump off and go hide until they left.
Ran out
And
of
then I went
gas.
and looked for gas. Yeah. That's dope.
No,
It's hard though.
it sounds like it's a fun game though.
Yeah.
Like
It's got a good story.
that's the important part. Is if it's a fun game, dope story and stuff. And I mean, the only thing I've been playing lately, honestly, is World War Z. I do need to jump into some of my other horror games that I have here, which isn't very many, but
Yeah, Rylan's been playing. Rylan's been playing Resident Evil 6 lately.
really,
Yeah. Like these are the games that I have out right here. See, Resident Evil 7, 2, Friday the 13th, Days Gone, RE6, and World War Z.
mm-hmm.
Rylan loves World War Z.
I see him on. I'm assuming it's him on like all
It
different
is.
times during the day.
It's him. Because I work 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So between that time slot, if you see World War Z, it's him.
Mm-hmm. And he's probably having a blast playing that game.
He started playing it when I woke up this morning.
Nice.
I'm over here trying to make coffee and make something to eat. And he's out here. Dad, you want to play? I'm like, yeah, hold on.
Oh, I'm trying to think of what other. So, what movie are you looking forward to now?
Honestly, I'm looking forward to Child's Play.
Me too.
And remember the movie The Witch that I was telling you about?
I believe so.
Sorry,
Hereditary.
Yeah, so The Witch.
Okay,
The Witch is
okay.
really good. I'd recommend that. It's one of those movies like you watch it from the beginning to the end, and the credits roll, and you're like, what did I just watch? Like I remember I went to see it with Serena in the theater. It was me and her and like 4 other people, and I was like, I said out loud, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
It's one of those.
it's a slow burn.
Okay. Yo, did you?
But
No, go ahead.
the movie Hereditary, it's from the director, is writer and director is doing a new movie, and he said it's related to that movie.
Nice.
To Hereditary, and it's about some people that go to some other, I think maybe another country, for like a big festival,
Nice.
and it ends up being some kind of cult thing.
Ooh.
So even without knowing anything about the movie coming out, I don't remember the name of it, but just from the strength of Hereditary,
Mm-hmm.
I'll check it out.
That sounds interesting, though. I would definitely check that out. I gotta watch Hereditary still. That's what I want to ask you. Did you get a chance to check out the Id yet?
I have not. No.
We got to do that one, man. Cause that shit.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that again.
My Amazon Prime, I have it saved. I just totally.
No, I get it.
Forget about it.
Well, because I told Amanda Id. Wow. Sorry, Amanda Wiss, that once we do a podcast on it, I'm gonna send it to her. So yeah, I still want to do that. And that movie, because you like those kind of like mind fuck type of movies. That's the best way I can explain it. I can't even like. I gotta rewatch it again. But it's one of those movies. Well, for one, it's too kind of confusing to explain for me. I'm horrible at explaining, as you know. And then 2, it's like talking about that movie in a sense would give it away, and I don't want to do that because you haven't seen it yet. After you watch it, we can do a podcast on it, and there's going to be spoilers, as always. That's how we do on here.
Mm-hmm. This is not a spoiler-free podcast.
Not at all. The only, like I said, the only way I'll do a spoiler free is if somebody sends us a screener and they're like, "Hey, you guys can talk about this, this, and this in the movie, but please don't talk about the ending or whatever, or give up too much." Fine. Other than that, or if it's still in theaters, but usually if it's in theaters still, I don't really, I don't even touch it. I barely even see it, let alone touch it.
All right.
But yeah,
But I think by now people know.
hang on, I think Scott's free.
Okay. So yeah, but Hereditary, I would really recommend that. That's one of the movies like when you watch it, pay attention to everything, every little detail.
Mhm.
Look in the background. You know,
Yeah, it's one of the, yeah.
there's a couple parts in that movie that like it's fucked up. It's a good movie. Like in visually, like it was well done.
I'm trying to think what else I discussed earlier. Or what to discuss? Shit. Yeah, I definitely got it. Like I said, I got to check that out. There's just I need to just make like a little list of things and just knock them out. Or
Yeah.
what? Or we need to just start. Like I know we have that one list and just start knocking that list off, and just say like, hey, let's do this one this weekend or whatever, and watch them, knock them out. Cause there's so much. You know what I'm enjoying about horror now, though, yo? Like we've loved it since we were kids. We've been watching it together since we were kids, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, Nicholas.
And it's getting more popular now. Like I feel like
Yeah, especially this year. A lot going on this year
mhm.
between video games and movies. You know.
It's one of those things in a sense. It's good and bad. I say it's good because like you're getting more out there. It's getting way more exposure. But the only
Yeah.
thing I feel like it's bad that I'm afraid of is it can get watered down, and I hope that doesn't happen. I don't think it will because there's so many great directors and there's so many ideas for horror out there. But
And I think the strength, besides like the mainstream releases, but you still have so many independent films. You know, like I just watched Death House
mhm.
not too long ago. That was good. I was happy to see Kane with more speaking parts.
Oh, I gotta see that.
And,
That's on Netflix, right?
and yeah, it's on Netflix. He did a great job. Felicia Rose is in it. Obviously, she did a great job. He's in it. She's in it. Bill
Mhm.
Moseley's in it. Tony Todd.
Oh,
Um,
it's an all-star cast.
God, so many people. Um, what's his name? R.A. something he played. Leatherface.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's in it.
I know there's a
So
lot of
many
legends
people
in
are
it.
in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So basically, it's like in a futuristic prison,
Mhm.
and there's levels to it.
Is Ricky in it?
And no, Sid Haig is in it though.
Ah, that's good. Fair trade-off.
Close enough. Yeah. And there's different levels to it. Different levels have like different types of offenders, and then the bottom level. I fell asleep for a minute, and then like I woke up, and there was like this thing
Mhm.
that like missing skin. It was really fucking weird. I don't know what the hell it was. Um, but it was pretty cool looking. I'm
That,
glad Ryan didn't wake up.
I'll have to check that
But
out.
yeah, hell yeah, I definitely recommend it. And from the ending, I think there's going to be a sequel.
Dope. No, that's excuse me. That sounds interesting. I'm so
Yeah, but
fucking excited about
I
this.
think that's like the backbone of the genre is like the independent releases.
Oh, I agree.
You
Is
know what I mean? Because they're dropping all the time, and then you only have so many mainstream releases.
I wish I can
You know?
find the one I just got. I just got one. Is this it? Hang on. 1 second. Let's see if I can see over here. Nope. No, it's not over here. I just got one. It came in the mail a couple weeks ago. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, and I
Yeah.
forgot. I don't remember what the hell it's called, and I'm kind of disappointed because I'll have to shout it out. I'll have to do it another time. But yeah, I was on a podcast earlier, as I was telling you earlier before we started recording with JV, the guy who runs Scarecon, and
Yep.
I was talking to him about like independent, just in general, I was like speaking to the fans, but when I was talking to him, I was like, look, I was like, when you go to this, I was like, if it's your first time going to a like scare con or horror con in general, I was like, obviously save money and all that, but like when you go there, don't just get the big name people's autographs and movies. I was like, go there and get them independent movies because
You never know.
you never know what you're gonna get, and a lot of those movies are some freaking amazing gems, and two, it's like that's like you were saying, that's like the backbone of the horror right now. Like you can buy that movie. Here's a great example. Look how Terrifier was as an independent movie. Look how much that's blown up and
Seriously.
you know what I mean? I know every single independent movie is not going to be like that, but still, you got to give them a shot. Some of them are more funny than serious. They're great movies. A lot of them are really great movies, and it's people's ideas, it's people's hard work. Just go out there and support it. You know what I mean? If you got a couple dollars to go grab a DVD, me and you, I still didn't watch that movie, by the way. I have it, and I need pieces of talent, and I'm gonna watch that. And I'm gonna either send it to you or something, find it online or something so you can watch it because we got to do a podcast on that. We bought it, we went halves on that about 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna tell the story. We get the movie, we get back to the room, no homo.
No.
We're
Yeah,
brothers.
beat me to it.
No homo, no incest, none of that weird shit. But anyway, we get back to the room, we're drinking, smoking, whatever. And we're too high to fucking watch the damn movie to follow that movie.
Yeah, we both agreed. We're like, yo, what?
Didn't know
I
what was
think we
going on.
stopped when, like, dude was in like a tutu covered in blood.
Yeah,
I'm
up
like,
against a tree or some shit.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, what happened? What brought us to this point?
I still don't know.
We both are watching the same thing.
So then we ended up watching Tales from the Hood, the original, and that was fucking hilarious. I was dying and fucking, oh
Green.
man, green dick.
No one even was talking about dicks, and he just started talking about his green dick.
Nope.
It could have been a medical condition, It could have been like
Mm-hmm.
a sensitive subject for him, and he's calling him out on it. Like,
Yeah.
he's seen a doctor for that shit.
But shit, man. Anyways, like I was saying, like, yeah, definitely support. You got to support the indie horror books, movies, shit, podcasts, everything.
And when you support that, you're supporting the genre.
Yes. And it's
you don't get that. You don't get that with. I mean, you do with comedy, like with stand up and stuff like that.
To an extent.
But action movies, you don't get that.
Marvel, you know what I mean? Comic movies, you don't really get that as much. As far as I know, you don't. Maybe you do because I'm not really in that world as much as I am with horror.
Right. Yeah.
And I was saying this. I know I've said this plenty of times. I know me and you have discussed this, and I discussed this earlier with JV. I was like, what's funny about horror is like, I can say to you, I just watched this movie about a killer turkey or a killer tire, you're gonna want to check that shit out.
Like a what? Right.
At least, even if you watch it and don't like it, you're gonna be like, I had to fucking just see it. But if I was like, yo, Henry, fucking, I just watched this new fucking Marvel movie about a superhero turkey or a superhero fucking tire, you're gonna be like, what kind of corny shit? I don't want to see that stupid horror.
Like there's no limits.
Yeah, to horror, which I love. Like, you can go literally anywhere with a horror.
That was going around killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I just. And the movie's called Rubber, by the way. I haven't seen it yet, but we're not going to go there. I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it just because. A fucking killer tire. It has to be hilarious. At the very least, it could be a terrible movie, but it has to have some laughs in it. Has to.
Yeah, well, there's no question to his motives. He's a killer tire.
Yeah.
All around and kill people.
Mm-hmm. I want to know what happens. Did the tire get heartbroken? Was it a flat tire and then nobody wanted to fix it and it fixed itself like Christine, the car? You never. I don't know.
Oh, speaking of, so there is. So you remember the first Nightmare on Elm Street?
Mm-hmm.
Remember at the very end when Nancy's picked up by her friends in the car?
Mm-hmm.
And then the roof comes down and it's the stripes of Freddy's sweater.
Yep.
There's a model car coming out. That car, with the Freddy stripes on the top, that comes with the little Freddy figurine.
I gotta get that.
Yeah, it's up for pre-order. It comes out, I believe, next month.
How much? Or you don't know?
So, it was under $25.
I gotta get that. You getting
Yeah,
it?
I would. I think so.
I mean, it's horror and it's a car. I love both, so I gotta get that. I want to
Yeah,
get
it
I
sounds
gotta get
like your alley.
Christine too.
I sent you the picture. It's at Barnes and Noble. What's a bookstore? Bed. Fuck me. What the hell is that place called? Michael's. The
Ah, Christine.
yeah. hmm The
I
model
remember you
club.
sending me that. I think I
Yeah,
seen one actually. Yeah, I definitely want to get that. And now the Nightmare on Elm Street one. That's pretty dope. You know what would be a cool figure if they don't have it out yet? Is remember the station wagon from Halloween, the original Halloween, with little Michael Myers figure? That would be pretty
yeah,
dope.
that would be.
That would be dope.
They should do. It'd be dope if there was like a line of different horror. Like, so you got that, and you got like maybe from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was like a red pickup truck with a girl in the back.
Either red or
Remember
blue,
that?
but yep,
When
that
she
would be.
finally got away, that'd be kind of dope.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know.
Oh hell yeah.
Um. What else? I think that's it. Or the tanker that killed Gage, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Or um.
That same
I don't
tank,
know.
one of those tankers also. Well, we don't know what vehicle, but some sort of vehicle also killed the cat in that movie. Killed
We're
Church.
assuming it was. Yeah, and then you have the sequel, so it could be like the potato truck that
I gotta see the sequel. Like I haven't. What happened with that one? I mean, I haven't seen that one in years either.
what's crazy about the sequel is the director of the original one directed the second one, and it's so completely different.
Really.
Yeah, and originally the story was supposed to be about Ellie
Mm.
and her coming to grip, with what happened with her family in the first one,
Hmm.
but they scrapped that idea because they didn't want a female as a lead character.
Wow. They dropped the ball with that. Well, how was the second one? Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, I remember it. Watched it quite a few times. It's same thing. Don't go into watching it thinking it's anything like the original because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the same town. Um, I don't think it's the same house, but it's in. No, it is in the same. Fuck me, I don't remember. But it's in the same town, and it's like a new kid and his dad. His dad's a vet, and the kid the kid is bullied, and like every Halloween they have a party in the pet cemetery,
Mm-hmm.
and shit goes down.
Yeah, I gotta.
And there's yeah, and it's a fun movie. It's fun if anything. It's not scary. It's fun.
Okay.
There's a lot of gross out scenes. Um, so when people come back, they're not like completely evil like how Gage was in this
Mm-hmm.
one, but there's a lot of like sick humor in it.
I believe that.
Like this one guy ends up dying, and then they bury him when he comes back, and it's this kid's stepdad, and he's fucking with him, and he's eating like tapioca, but like his throat is slit, so it's like
Coming
the
out of his neck.
yeah, he like um, and he's like mushing the mashed potatoes in his mouth. And he's like, going like that, and it's
Mm-hmm.
coming out, and
All right.
just to fuck with the kid.
I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds like a. It. I'm sure. I know I've seen it. Just like I said, it's been years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I need to go back and revisit some of these classic movies. Oh, I got another movie for you. What do you think about Jordan Peele? Is he directing or producing Candyman?
Um, one of the two. He has a big part of it. I don't think he's directing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's just producing it. But from what I've been reading, they called it a spiritual sequel,
Hmm.
whatever the fuck that means. And the guy that they have cast, he's not actually
Playing
replacing Tony Todd as Candyman.
which
They said he's not replacing Tony Todd. So that could mean fuck, I don't know what that means.
I mean, me personally, I would love to see Tony Todd come back as that role as Candyman, and I feel like he can do it. For one,
Of course.
the voice alone. No other nigga sounds like that.
No, but my thing is Daniel Robitaille. Was just Candyman. Um, when he was killed, he was in his like early 20s, and he just does not look early 20s anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so like the premise, it's going to be in Cabrini Green again in that area,
Mm-hmm.
and so the guy from Don't Sorry to Bother You, like the main character,
Mm-hmm.
he's the main character in the new Candyman movie instead of the white chick.
Oh.
He's a painter who becomes obsessed with Candyman.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's real interesting. That's a whole different take.
hmm So I mean, the story itself is a good story and it has a lot of potential. So um, I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too. I wonder when that's coming out. When it's supposed to be coming out.
It's 2020, I think next summer.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I
Yeah.
definitely got to see. That. Yeah. Hell yeah. I think that's gonna be good too.
Oh, it will be. It'll probably. I'm thinking it's going to be one of the better
Oh,
sequels. It's not so much a remake, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a sequel.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. That. Yeah.
But
That's.
they said Tony Todd's not being replaced as Candyman, so
He
and
may.
people are saying he refuses to talk about it, like at cons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People obviously like ask him about it, and he's like, nope, nope,
So there has to be
can't
something.
talk about it. Yeah,
Now, shit. What other movies? I know it chapter 2. I know you want to see that. I definitely want to see that.
yeah.
We already discussed. Okay, what about the Child's Play TV series they're supposed to be doing? What do you think about that?
Oh yeah. See, I'm not so much a fan of like movies being made into TV series.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just don't know like where they're gonna go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, and actually the opposite of that. Like, I'm kind of excited for it. I'd rather them do like a Netflix type of thing though, just because they can get away with a lot more.
Yeah.
But I guess they can get away with more than what I feel than what I think they can on what is it on
It's gonna be
Sci-Fi?
on the Sci-Fi Channel. Yeah. So yeah, they'll. I mean, it's. I think they can say fuck.
Oh, yeah, they can say fuck.
They say fuck on FX.
They should be able to say fuck on Sci-Fi then, if you ask me.
Exactly. I mean, they had Sci-Fi had Z Nation. They had Zombie Boners. So.
That was so funny. That's the first freaking episode.
Yeah.
Hang on, the first podcast episode name. Thanks to you, I'm calling Scott right now. He said he just got on.
Okay.
But yeah, oh man, there's so much horror. I know he's gonna have some shit to talk about too.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going. Hey, what's going on,
Hey,
Henry?
hey, what's going on, Scooter?
You got the camera, huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
stepping it up. I can't see you though.
Probably because I don't have my camera active.
Oh, right on.
He's naked, so he doesn't want to have his camera on.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I did put it on. I said turn off.
I don't know.
Video.
Yeah, we were just talking about some random things, Scott.
Yeah, we were just talking about Candyman.
Yeah.
Candyman, nice. Hold on.
Yep.
No, nothing pops up, huh? For you guys, I just turned on the.
The new. What do you? All right, I'm gonna ask you what I just asked Henry. We're both excited for it, but what do you think about the whole Jordan Peele thing with Candyman?
Jordan Peele. Actually, that's kind of new, but Jordan Peele is, if I'm correct, he's the guy that did Coach Hines on Mad TV, right? Or is it different?
No, he was on Mad TV, but you're thinking of the light skinned one, the ball headed one.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
Peele.
other one.
No, that's Keegan. The one that kind of looks like my cousin Josh, not him. No,
Yeah,
Jordan Peele did. What did he do? He did Us.
and Get Out.
He did Get Out, and he's doing what's that TV? The Twilight Zone.
He's host. He's like
The host. That's still gonna be cool though.
Yeah, no, I've watched the first like 3 episodes.
How is it? I haven't seen any of it actually.
It's good because the Twilight Zone. There's more often than not, just like with Tales from the Crypt. There's like a meaning to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like be careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, shit like that. Um,
Careful who you
and
pee on.
yeah, Garth Kelly.
Well, get back to your question. I don't know. I hate. I mean, I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I don't know too much about Jordan Peele. I mean, I did see Get Out. Um, I
It's based on a true story.
what Get Out? Get Out based on a true story.
Yep, it is.
I believe it. No, no, I'm
I
kidding.
used to be dark skinned.
Mm-hmm. He was. Then he started bleaching.
Uh, I'm
Yeah.
I'm well, since I don't know much about them, I always say when there's a new actor, like let's compare a little bit. When people were wondering how Jared Leto was going to do the Joker or Heath
Mhm.
Ledger was going to do Joker,
And they
people
both killed.
always, you know, they always wonder what they're going to bring to the screen. You know, um, I always say if you don't enjoy the actor's performance
Mm-hmm.
of the reimagining of a film, if is it a remake or is it like a continuation for the Candyman?
I think they called it a spiritual sequel.
Don't know what that
Spiritual.
means.
Yeah, that's kind of cliche. So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna I'm just gonna say let's say just for be safe, it's pretty much another Candyman movie starring a different person. I would love to see Tony Todd because Tony Todd does a fantastic job. He was also the voice for Professor Zoom in the Flash TV series, which was great. But back to what I was saying is, I always like when new people try out the roles that
Mhm.
we grew up with, and I don't try to compare the two. You got, you know, see the movie, what was given, what was the story, and is that does he portray the character as you imagine he would do? Is he more brutal? Uh, is he, does he still have the thing with the bees and stuff? Does he have hoof?
All that better happen.
All that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But the thing is with horror, like Henry knows this. I'm a huge fan of the movie 1408, and I
Mhm.
always like
Yeah, that movie's
psychological.
mind fuck.
I
Yeah,
always
it
like
is.
the psychological thrillers. You know, so I'm wondering what direction they will go with the Candyman.
Well, so what they said was that Tony Todd is not being replaced as Candyman
Okay.
because the original reports were that the guy that played Black Mantis or Black Manta in the Aquaman movie
Yep.
is playing Candyman. They said
Okay.
he's playing him, but he's not replacing Tony Todd as Candyman.
Okay.
So there's something in the story that maybe the mantle's going to be passed on to him.
Mm.
I
You know,
guess. I mean
which
that's.
just like it was with Helen in the end of the original one, Helen had the hook.
Yep.
Remember, and her husband said Helen, Helen, and she said
Mhm. And she
yada
showed
yada
up at
yada.
the end. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh
and she hit
shit,
him in the
you're right.
gooch with the
Yeah.
hook.
Yep.
That would
So
now.
This is why you. This is why you always gotta enjoy Henry and I on your podcast because we know little stuff like this.
yeah,
That would be a dope twist.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean
it,
that there's nothing wrong. I mean, I'm pretty sure if he is gonna pass the mantle on to somebody,
in
in
some
some
way, yeah,
in some way, shape, or form. If they're going to do like a trilogy, because everything now with Hollywood is trilogies. Yeah, unfortunately, because they can't think of new ideas.
yeah.
Can't. So if he is going to pass it, I think he's going to pass on to somebody that he can trust with the role. So
Hmm.
or give him his blessing. That's all you can do as an actor when if you play an iconic figure, no matter what it
It's
is,
big shoes to step in.
it's
Oh hell
big
yeah.
shoe step in no matter what, but you can't just say the original always going to be the best in everybody's eyes. Like I
Of
like
course.
Michael Keaton's Batman, I like Jack Nicholson, but I'm not going to shit on the Dark Knight or anything. That those
Yeah.
were movies were good in their own way. That's how you got to
Each
look at it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they each have positives and negatives, but I think what I would like to see with Candyman is for them to go the same route they did with the new Halloween,
Mhm.
where it completely like all the sequels after all the sequels didn't even
Yeah, they weren't even.
exist.
Yeah, yep.
You know, that's
And
that's funny
there was three
because
Candyman movies.
I like how you bring that up because there's another thing I was talking to Aaron about this recording is the new Terminator uh, trailer.
Oh, jeez, I'm not even bothering with that
Well,
franchise.
but here's the thing: is it's one of those things where the Terminator timeline is so messed up that I
Yeah.
feel like almost if they're gonna do something where maybe it's after Judgment Day and they're kind of continuing like this
Okay.
is how we wanted it because if you get into all the movies of the Terminator movie, it just gets so convoluted with time travel and stuff because time travel
Yeah.
this happened that
Time
happened.
travel's gay.
Yeah, it's almost spoiler alert. They do that in one of the Marvel movies, but we won't say.
Oh. Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
time heist.
time
That's
heist. Yeah, time heist.
different.
But still, it's still time travel though. Like with anything, I'm a pretty big Doctor Who fan. I enjoy, David Tennant as Doctor Matt Smith.
Yeah, but that is
But
completely about time travel, right? Like,
it is. But like when you get into time travel, it gets
gay.
so complicated because time is not a singularity. And there's
It's like
so
a
many yeah. It let's not get
or it
into
can
that
be.
whole discussion. It's about horror and stuff, but
Yeah.
I
Right.
think yeah, yeah. I think personally this Terminator, hopefully this new Terminator movie, which is awesome. Linda, I forget her last name. Starts with H. Um,
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Thank you. Is coming back. So I think
But she died. Was she?
yeah, time travel. Remember, it's all
But
confused.
if there's
So
time travel, why does she look older?
I, this is probably like how
Right.
they did it in
Let's not get into that.
yeah. Well, no. You know how they did it in the new Michael Myers movie where he just got shot off by the doctor and he got arrested that night and he's been in
Yeah.
jail.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
switch
and
up
then
the story a little bit.
yeah, just switch it
It
a little
works.
bit. It's a continuation maybe after the second one or something. That's what I think.
Or even the
So
third one. I mean,
or
Rise of the Machines was good.
yeah,
I
yeah.
liked how we actually got to see the rise of the robots that they, or the end of the world, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not just like an alternate universe or something. Then it's like you just you're just adding more to the pile. Then it's not canon. It's not part of the
It's
story. It's just a
Christian
film.
Bale's salvation.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's just
what was the point of that movie?
his rant that's famous.
Oh, right, yeah, like
So
lighting or something.
think for 1 second. But yeah, I mean, I'm a Terminator fan. I mean, I love Schwarzenegger. I'm
I
glad
know.
Linda's back. I just hope it's like almost like a retcon to the other movies. Like, okay, we're gonna cut all that crap out and go
Which
back
they can.
and like this. Let's make the story a little bit more simplistic because all the
The
other
only time
films.
I liked time travel was Dragon Ball Super with Sumatsu.
Yeah, time. Yeah, no.
This is completely off the
Yeah,
rails.
well,
With the
yeah,
top,
that's not didn't do with well that super the whole series, not the movie. It was this whole series that kind of like time
yeah,
travel, which is all right. But and again, I'm saying it's a whole different subject. But biggest thing here is I just hope it's they take a little bit what they did with Halloween and just shorten the story and just be like,
hmm
okay, this is what actually just happened, and this is the
maybe,
official canon storyline. Don't worry
yeah,
about the other stuff.
and maybe take it in a different direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because of
exactly.
course we don't know if John's alive because there wasn't much in the trailer. Um, so if John's even in it,
He's
we don't
probably going
know.
to be transgender. He's probably going to
Don't
be
know.
one of
Yeah,
them.
we don't know if because Schwarzenegger opens the door. We don't know if he's T-800 or if he's the upgrade version. But again, canon stuff. So I'm interested. I'm more interested than like I can see a lot of people like, oh man, I'll Terminator movie. I'm only interested because Linda's back. if she's back, she must have read the script and be like,
Something.
yeah,
yeah.
something piqued her
Yeah.
interest. So
Yeah.
it has to be good because nobody, if you're an actor of like the first, trilogy of it, and like, okay, I don't want to do no more or whatever, and then all of a sudden, 20, 30 years later, it's like, hey, we want you to do another one. It's like, I don't know, I'm kind of out of that. Can you at least read the script? She must have read the script and be like, I can get behind this. So,
Yeah. And the money, that's always nice.
Oh,
well,
hell
but
yeah.
also too, if it could just be the money too. Who knows? But I kind of hope as an
Yeah,
actor, it's like you read the script and like, you know what? Yeah, I would love to do this again. I would like to reprise the role again. So that's my take on it. What about you
Yeah.
there, Aaron? You've been pretty quiet.
I've only watched, as far as I remember, the first Terminator movie, and I didn't like it, so I just refused to watch the rest of them.
You're missing out. You should
There
at
you
least
go.
watch the second one. The second one's fantastic. I
Um,
mean, for its time,
yeah.
obviously.
Well,
You mean
Yeah.
you're not gonna appreciate it as much as you would if you were like a kid,
When did that come out? 90?
yeah,
Yeah.
not like 90s. I mean, it's still a good classic to watch.
yeah. I don't know. It just never piqued my interest. I don't know if it's because
Yeah, that's how I am with like I've never seen the Alien franchise. I think I watched bits and pieces of the first one, but like space is stupid.
see, I like space shit.
It doesn't.
I've never.
Besides Dead Space, those games are awesome.
I watched
Go
one. I
ahead,
watched the first two Alien movies. They weren't bad. And I watched one of the Alien vs Predator movies. That was a fun one.
The
Aaron.
game.
Yeah, like the first Alien vs Predator wasn't bad. I enjoyed it myself, but like then it just got. I don't know. After like the second one, I saw the second one because the first one was good, and I just didn't really like the second one. And
Yeah.
then you just see the trailers for the third, and then it just like, nah, this is getting bad. You can just tell.
Yeah. Did you What was I gonna ask you, Scott? Damn. Did you see the new Pet Cemetery?
No, I have not. My roommate has. I did have plans to see it, but I didn't get a chance to get around to it. I know Henry's a big fan of Pet Cemetery, so are you. But you know, I know they did spoil a pretty big twist in the trailer that a
Hmm.
lot of people were kind of pissed about.
Oh, you could mention it if you want. We discussed it some before you came on. We were talking about that a little bit. We've both seen the movie too. So
Yeah, well, I think from the trailer, it's not the kid, it's the girl, right?
yep.
This time around, that's what they just switched. I mean, as I said, I don't know too much about it, so again, as I said, I judge, even though it's like pretty much I always like the word reimagining
Hmm.
basically because it actually really is of it. I judge the movie separate from its own. Again, the original's still great for what it is,
Hmm.
but I haven't seen this one, so I really can't give a fair assumption. But the twist, I don't me personally that it's the girl, not the kid.
Hmm.
I guess if you're a big fan of the original, you would like to keep some continuity.
Yeah.
Not just. Yeah, I don't know how she did for the acting or movie wise because I said I didn't see it, but it's always nice to give the little twist a chance. So I mean, I don't really care for spoilers too much. So if you guys want to just retort a little bit what you guys thought
On what?
about
Pet
the girl,
Cemetery remake.
yeah, about the girl
Okay.
instead of the kid.
Um,
Okay.
I was just telling. I don't want to spoil. Like I said, I don't want to really ruin the movie for you because you haven't seen it yet.
Hmm.
But I was telling Henry. I was just actually I'll tell you too. There's this app I use. It's called Libby.
Hmm.
If you have a library card, download the app and you can listen to like a bunch of audiobooks. And I had just finished Pet Cemetery on Thursday. So that's kind of like fresher in my head, and that book was just excellent. It was so amazing, and then compared to the remake, reimagined, new idea, fresh idea movie, whatever you want to call it, I'm like, this movie definitely didn't hold up to my expectations.
Because what I was expecting was, I was expecting this movie to be as good as, if not better than it from when me, you, and Henry went to see it in 2017.
Oh, that was still good though for what it was.
Oh yeah, no, it was really good. I really enjoyed the movie, and what made me really enjoy that movie was Henry had given me the book like a month beforehand.
So you read a lot of it.
I
Yeah.
well, I read as much as I could, and then I ended up finishing the book on audiobook because I didn't have enough time to finish it before we were gonna go see the movie.
Hmm.
And I know it didn't go shot for shot with the book, so to speak, but it did take quite a bit from the book and put it into the movie. And with this Pet Cemetery movie, I feel it didn't really do that. It kind of maybe tiny piece as far as like the character names and all that. I'll say that
Little things here and there.
little things here and there, but it didn't go as far as I'd want it to go, and that kind of disappointed me some. But you have to hang out with Mary Jane.
Nah, just getting a beer.
But other than that, the movie was good. I'll say that. I won't say it was great. I definitely say I'll rewatch it. I'll probably end up buying it when it comes out. Um,
July.
July. I can't compare it to the original because I haven't seen the original in years. But I would like to revisit the original and revisit this one, and maybe even do a podcast with you guys on them and kind of compare them against each other.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I've seen the first one enough to
Yeah.
would not have to watch it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Well,
I mean, Scott, I would best describe the remake or reimagining as like it was a missed opportunity. Like they had everything they needed to make this movie good, and they just didn't utilize it. But it's a good movie. It's not bad by any means. You know, I would definitely recommend seeing it.
all right. Well, another thing I would like to bring up, because I think I brought this up when I first got on your podcast, is like a lot of movies, when I do something, the book is always will be better because you can get a lot more character development in it. But I like when you mentioned about it, why it was so good, because they took a lot of elements, and Henry pointed this out, a lot of elements out of the book and put it into the movie, which people want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's key parts in my opinion. There's key things you just can't.
Exactly.
It'd be like, having Pet Cemetery and not have one of the kids die.
Yeah, that would have. You know how crazy that would have been. I mean, I know how they switched it up with Ellie and Gage, but you know how crazy or kind of dumb it would have been if it was one of the parents that died instead. That would have killed it.
Yeah.
Because I only say that because it doesn't tug at the heartstrings. It doesn't really. I'm not gonna say it wouldn't be sad. It wouldn't like the person wouldn't feel that. It wouldn't be that emotional, but it's like when it's a kid, you're like, what the fuck?
Right. Especially in like a film, you're like, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty brutal,
With that shoe, with the shoe bouncing with blood on the shoestring and stuff,
like yeah, that he's not getting back up.
He's not getting back up.
Shoe might be alright, but he's not.
Yeah, the shoe's fine, but he's not.
Yeah, he's
goodwill.
That's another thing. After Gage dies, his mother. No. The mother was talking about it from the book. She wanted to donate all his stuff to Goodwill, like all his, unused clothes to Goodwill. She's like, because we're not going to need it anymore. I don't know if they ever did or not, but
they might have tried to make another one.
That movie, that book, though, man, I can't believe how good that freaking book was.
Well, it really, I mean, at its core, the story is about a guy that loses everything. And will do anything to get it back.
He'll do anything to get it back, and
yeah.
And I know you're not. I know you're not into car movies or shark movies, Henry. But Jaws was an excellent book, and Christine was an excellent book. Both better than the movies.
I'd probably watch Christine before I'd watch Jaws.
Really?
Well, Jaws was still great for its time because it made everybody fear, like going to the beach. It was just so good. It's like, what was it? It was the mechanical shark. It's ridiculous. The mechanical shark name was actually named Bruce.
Well, my thing
Spielberg,
is
Spielberg had a lot of trouble shooting a lot of the scenes because sometimes
imagine.
the shark would malfunction during the
Oh,
scene.
see something.
Water.
So, yeah, yeah.
But
So
it's like with Freddy, you can't hide from Freddy. You fall asleep and he's in your dreams.
yep.
You know. Um, that's creepy.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
like Jaws, you just gotta say it, yo.
Especially the person behind you.
I know.
But like, I mean, Jaws. Yeah, you could avoid Jaws. Just don't go to the ocean.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so avoidable.
It is. But it was still a cool movie,
Even,
though.
even Pennywise, you could just leave the state. You know,
Yeah,
go to New-
yeah,
right?
because that's all. I think that's all you have to do with him. But yeah, because you want to just terrorize the people in that town.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
just don't get off at that exit.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's right. You just keep
know?
moving on.
But so you didn't see the new Pet Cemetery, right?
No, I didn't see New Pet
All right, so
Cemetery.
this isn't a spoiler per se, but there's a scene where you see a dairy exit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything other than that, but yeah, and you blink and you miss it type deal.
Yep. You know what's interesting is I was talking to a coworker and he's huge into books, and I remember Idris Elba was doing the Dark Tower
Yep.
movie.
That was I enjoyed it.
Actually said the book is fantastic, and what's great
Oh,
about
you're right.
yep, you know,
Him and my brother tried to get me. I'm like, I can't into
but
another series.
he brought up something interesting because he says everything in like a Stephen King's books of like all his horror stuff has to do with the Dark Tower series, which I found very interesting.
Like Pennywise is in a bunch of different books.
Yep.
He was described in the Tommy Knockers. Someone saw a clown in a silver suit in a drain.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so and you have the movie in the book, The Stand. You have the he goes by a bunch of different names. The Walking Dude, the Black Guy, or the Black Man. I think they call it Man in Black. And he's the guy that's one of the main villain in the Dark Tower series.
Oh, cool. That's nice. See, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if anything, as I said, if you're a big Stephen King fan, you should definitely like read The Dark Tower. That's what J. Roy told me because I thought it was interesting that the Dark Tower series has to do with other Stephen King book, which
Yeah,
is
it's,
awesome.
it's one universe.
Yeah, it's one universe, so that's awesome. Like just to think about that the story of Pennywise extends beyond just Derry. He's in other Stephen King books. May not be a big part, but it's small parts, and those small parts lead up to something bigger.
Even the not even that form Pennywise, he would take on other forms and be in other books as other characters, but still be the same like entity. Like he wherever he goes, he creates chaos.
Nice.
So he could be the clown here. He could be, the spirit that possessed Jack in The Shining. It's
crazy, but it's awesome though. It's an awesome concept. It's genius.
It really
So,
is.
I'm like when Jerry told me that, like, oh man, I gotta check
and
this
also,
book out.
I mean, you can even see the movie. He said the movie's nothing compared to the book.
Yeah. He said it's not. He didn't see the movie, but
there is a Pennywise cameo.
Oh, there is.
You see his circus getup. It says Pennywise the Dancing Clown. It's
okay.
Like a marquee almost.
But I said that. Well, he said it was just terrible. There's so much more that again they could have done so much with it, but they dropped the ball.
Yeah, they fit a series in one movie like that.
Yeah, you can't.
You really can't.
I mean, nothing against the actor, Idris Elba.
He did a great job.
I always say that. Like a lot of people, like, oh, that movie was terrible, and you can't really not blame the actor because they're just doing the scene.
They do their best.
Yeah,
they're doing the job.
They don't read the script.
So it's like
just like
all right,
it wasn't
This is your vision. This is your vision. I'm getting paid to act this out for you. I'm going to do the best I
Just
can.
like just like it wasn't Jackie Hartley's fault that the Nightmare on Elm Street remake was the way it was. It wasn't his fault. He did a great job.
I think he did a fine job. I just think the storytelling was shit. I mean, honestly, between you and I, and Aaron, whatever. I mean, I think Jack did a fine job as Freddy.
Mhm. Yeah,
I didn't mind the makeup. I think he looked the part
I like
too.
it.
I kind of like what he brought to the Freddy character, and but it's just a
Made
damn
him
shame
serious.
the story was written badly, and then
Mhm.
that's what people
And the
care about.
casting.
They don't care about, like, hey, how was he as Freddy? I think he was fine as Freddy. I think if he
Mhm.
did a sequel with better writing, I think he could have gone. Uh, he could have brought out more
This,
of
yeah.
the Freddy that we want to see.
You know what it is with that though, and I'm guilty of this myself. Is we're so used to the Robert Englund look of Freddy Krueger.
Yep,
Like that's just, I mean, it's been since what did that movie come out in the 80, 84?
something like that.
84,
Yeah,
85.
Pretty much since either before we were born or since we were newborns, this movie's been out, and you you're accustomed to that look. It's not like Jason and Michael where they both wear masks, so you can have different. You know what I mean? You can have somebody different
They
playing them.
don't
They
do
don't
it.
have a speaking role
hmm
or nothing like that. So it's just
Yeah, he is. Freddie has too much personality.
yeah, and that's
yep.
that's what really, in my opinion, that's what really hurt it for me. The casting, yeah, the casting was trash. But I think I'd have to. I haven't seen it. I think I only watched that movie like I watched it once in theaters. I think I watched it like once at your house, Henry, and maybe one. I think I watched that movie like 3 times. It's something I
Yeah.
know I need to really revisit it.
Well, another thing, I like how you said you're guilty of it, because we're all guilty of something.
Hmm.
It's easy to do is, like, if I'm watching, let's say we're all watching the new Freddy movie right now, and it just ended, for the first time, be like, oh wow. The first thing we're always going to say, yeah, it didn't feel like Robert Englund.
Hmm.
People just immediately compare it to the previous
It's
actor.
always going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or like, oh yeah, the movie's this, the movie's that. They always go to compare. When you look at a movie that they're trying to remake, or whatever you want to call it, reimagining, you gotta take it and review it as it just coming out for the first time. You
Yeah,
know,
they're
I
making
agree.
it their own.
because then that way there, then you can like, okay, I'm gonna look at this movie at a neutral standpoint, and then you could, like, okay, what was good about it, what was bad about it, what they could have worked on. You know, Again, I agree with you, Aaron. Yeah, some of the casting was horrid. The storyline was horrid, but Jack Payne playing, Freddy, I think he did an all right job. Like me
He
personally,
did his best.
he did his best. He did a pretty good job, but you can only do so much. Not his fault if you know
Yeah, with the
they had
script.
bad actors or a bad script in front of them. I mean, a lot of people like stories, and if
Hmm.
the stories is bad, they're gonna just crap all over the, the whole rest of the movie. Like, oh, he shouldn't play Freddy, or blah blah blah, because the acting, whatever. But you gotta, when you judge a film, you gotta judge it individually and judge it in different categories. I think you never really want to compare original to something that's reimagined, because the original always going to be better. Like, as we said,
Always.
because we're big
Yeah.
Jason fans, you,
Hmm.
Aaron. So we will always love the original Friday the
Oh
13th,
yeah.
compared to the remake, um, yeah, of Friday the
Which is
13th.
cool.
Which the
Which is
the remake of that wasn't bad though, but I do agree with what you're saying. Like you're always gonna fall in love with the originals, and it's just I
I
think
like how we had that underground setup.
that
That
was
was dope.
dope. I think with like I said, like I was saying a little while ago, I think with the originals, when I was saying with Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's, with originals in general, with the horror movies, is it's like we've all been horror fans since we were kids, and you're just attached to that look, that sound, that whatever of that movie, that feel of the movie. Like that's,
Mhm.
I think that's one big thing I didn't like about the new Friday the 13th movie was I loved the 80s feel of the movie. I feel like that movie, right? that movie, I'll say a couple things. All right, I'll say one, if they had the '80s feel, like if they based it in the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
Two, if it
Set
was
in the
more,
80s.
yeah, there you go, set in the '80s, and then if it was more serious, like it was too. I'm not saying it had its funny parts here and there, but I feel like this movie was
Oh, it
like
had its funny parts.
too jokey. Like every Friday the 13th did have its funny parts in it, but it was more, for the most part, they're more serious. Besides maybe part 5 was a little looser with it, but it still had a lot of serious tone to it. Still had a real dark tone to it. And I feel with this one, it was more, and it wasn't a light tone because Jason's around killing motherfuckers at the end of the day. But I mean, it was just it was just too jokey for me. I enjoyed it. I mean, I went to go see it in theaters twice, so I really did enjoy the movie.
Yeah,
But
I was there.
yeah, I know. But at the same time, it was just like they could have did better. They, I feel like
For me, what bit really was missing for me in the remake was the score.
yeah,
That the original ones had, like when he was around and when he was killing it, like that high pitched like violin, you know,
yep.
that you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
The remake didn't have that at all.
You're right. It didn't. It had some great kills, but
Oh yeah, it made up for it in the kills.
yeah,
Just from the intro.
But music sets the tone of
Yes.
things. It makes you feel like oh man,
Anxiety and like
they really did the
anticipation.
research. You know, they're really paying homage to the original here. You know, people like seeing that, especially with like a remake. Like, let's do a couple of things that the original did.
Mhm.
You know, with a little bit of a twist because it's years later.
yeah, and
Better effects.
you got to make
But
it yours.
it's always you guys still make it your own, but you're still paying homage to the original.
Mhm.
So, but
Just
like as you said, like the scores are important because it sets the tone for the scene that's going on. Like if
in the
Jason's
movie,
chasing somebody, or is he, then all of a sudden he grabs somebody and he throws them through a window,
and
you
then
got
pulls them
that.
back.
Mhm.
Yeah, like in part 6, where I don't know what the hell happened in that cabin. That was fun everywhere.
The memory area that had me dying.
Mhm.
I was like, Jesus.
He was like, nah, you come back
Stop. Yeah, like, stop, Jason. She's already dead after you threw out the window.
in. Been
Jeez.
dead. How do you get mad and throw someone out and then pull them back in and still be mad?
Right.
Hey, man, he was having a bad day.
I mean, it was so bad. It was like the Johnny Depp, kill when, he went into the blender in the bed. That's what
Oh,
I felt like.
that was awesome.
Yeah,
That was an awesome kill right there.
a lot of
Yeah.
fucking blood.
I remember when I rewatched the first one, and they're at the house and they got like a body bag, and I jokingly say like, why are they bringing that in? You're gonna need a mop bucket. And I think in the script, top goes, what are you doing bringing that in here? You're gonna need a mop or something like that. So,
Okay.
and I was watching with my girlfriend at the time, and she freaking slapped the shit out of me because the line, I'm like, I just totally guessed it. So, but the score sets every tone for every scene in the film, especially horror. It's important.
Yeah, and
Especially
then
like an ongoing franchise.
I was gonna
That
say
was
that.
one thing that I really liked about Insidious.
Mhm.
Just the opening sequence, and then it goes black, and then it just in big red letters says Insidious, and it just has like that high pitched. I don't know what kind of sound. It was just like a really high pitched sound, but it just it
That
really
was
set the tone for that.
That was a good movie, by the way, Insidious. That was a good franchise, I should say. Are they done with that, or are they still doing? They're doing another one, aren't they?
One more is coming out. Yeah,
A prequel?
not sure.
Not sure.
I didn't read the details.
I
just saw
only saw I think Insidious 1, and I
Oh.
really enjoyed that. So, but like I hear nothing but good things about Insidious. It's like one of those horror things I meant to watch to get around to, but I never did. My good roommate like pretty much watched them all. He had like nothing bad to really say about them. So
my thing with the sequel was it literally lacked everything I loved about the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But it continues the story, so it's worth seeing because it's one of the franchises. You have to watch it from the first one
Right.
on.
Yep.
Well, that's
It's like,
again. I'm sorry to cut you off there, Henry. I'm being
yeah,
bad about
no,
that,
you're good.
but if it's a good enough story, even though it was lacking stuff that was in the first one that made it good, as long as the story makes sense going
Hmm.
forward from that point, you can
And
kind
it
of
does. It
you can
does.
you can kind of let what things were lacking in the film. You wish you could they did this or wish they did that, whatever. But like, well, at least the story makes sense, because there are a lot of horror films or franchises, and they try to explain the story. Like that's why I like the new Michael Myers so much. Is they just squashed everything. The
Mhm.
other
Mhm.
films tried to explain what Myers is, and pretty much they said Myers, he is what he is, and that's it. That was perfect, perfect, perfect,
Mhm.
perfect storytelling. And but people are still like saying, "Well, what is he?" It's like you, that's
He's
the
Michael.
beauty part about it. You
Mhm.
don't need to know. He's just Michael Myers, and he goes around killing babysitters on Halloween.
And
That's
random.
it. Yeah, and animals sometimes too. So
Yo, I love that one part. Like they pay so much homage to the original one. Like the one scene where he's walking down the street, and
Mhm.
then there's the lady looking out the window,
Yep.
and he goes through the garage and goes into the house, and he didn't have to kill her. Like he went out of his way to do that.
He did.
You know what's
And
interesting? That took
that
like
was awesome.
12, I think it was like 11 or 12 takes. But if you watch that scene, it's a continuous shot. They
That's
did
what I
that.
like. I
Yeah,
like that they don't show inside the house. You just see Michael behind her, and then that's it.
yeah,
Mhm.
like yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah, just and it
They
was
didn't show
interesting because
breaking
like
it.
there was a baby in the house and he just like walked
Mm-hmm.
straight by it and people were like, well, why Michael Myers killing all these people? Why didn't he kill the baby? It's like
You know what?
you don't he does the the character or all these doctors trying to understand him. Just Myers is Myers and accept it for what it is. It's just everything these days. People want an explanation behind it. They can't accept the term. It is what it is, and it's
And
hilarious.
and it's funny you say that because that was like the greatest things of some of the movies that came out in the '80s and like early '90s that made no sense,
Hmm.
But it just.
but loved them anyways.
Yes,
You know?
yes, it happened. That's just what happened, and fuck it.
Yeah.
Like Friday the 13th is a great example of that. He drowned as a kid. He's a grown man now.
Well, let's not right. Let's not worry about that.
and,
Right.
and you don't even. The funny thing is like watching it back then, and even watching it now. You don't even think about it. You don't even question it. You're just like, yo, this is fucking awesome. I don't
Mhm.
care.
Yeah, just like Jason X.
Yes, not one of my
I got a
favorites,
chance to
but it's
watch.
fun.
I I got a chance to watch it on Netflix because they put it on there, and like it was just so great because I died laughing at this one part. I know, it's supposed to be a horror flick, whatever, but it it's great because it's paying like homage because to like everybody's doing the memes where Jason is the safe sex patrol. So
Hmm.
two people are getting on the ship, and then that's what resurrects Jason after like he's like thawing and stuff before he bashes the chick uh,
Oh,
face. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but
Oh, with the
it's
cryo.
always great because he just can't. But Kane Hodder, when he sits up, he's pissed. It's
I'm
like, yo,
about to put that up.
hey, yo, I'm sensing some premarital sex going on here.
He's like I smell it. I smell it.
hmm
I gotta shut this shit down. It's great.
Uh
It's
huh.
great.
and
I
he.
mean, for what it was all right. I did actually
I'm about to
enjoy
put it on right now.
Jason X for what it was. It could have
Oh,
been better. Yeah,
There's some
obviously.
titties in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there was some cool
Did you
kills in
see?
it.
Did you see Death House, Scott?
No, I did not see that house.
Check it out.
Was that Netflix or
Yep.
just
Yeah, Netflix. Yep.
okay?
I
Well, I mean, I'm probably. I mean, it's like going on 1:30 here. I'm probably gonna head to bed in like 20 minutes or something because
Yeah, I'm going
yeah.
fishing in the morning.
So, but yeah, yeah, I'll check out Death House tonight.
Yeah.
While I'm
Yeah, whenever
relaxing.
you get a chance. Yeah.
Well, before you guys dip off, I have a question for both of you. I know I texted you and asked you this, but
Oh, Jason Goes to Hell and Freddy vs. Jason's on Netflix.
oh, nice. But
I love Jason Goes to Hell.
there's a reason for this. and I'm gonna ask you both now. Do you guys have cable? I know you don't live together and you're not married. So, Scott, Henry, do you, either one of you have cable?
Oh, that can change. No, I do not.
Scott?
I stream.
Yeah, no, I live with a couple roommates, and we just have internet, and anything that we need to pretty much watch, we get off the internet.
Okay. All right. Well,
Pretty much or watch on Netflix. I mean, Netflix is getting big. Hulu's getting big.
yeah.
You know,
Cable.
I mean, yeah, you really don't need cable these days. I mean, and it's depressing because all the news and I don't get me started on that, all that jazz. I'd rather just watch what I want to watch, and there's plenty of services that I
Amen.
can watch stuff on. So
Well, I'm asking this because I now have an ad for this podcast, and it's called GNR TV, and like I know Scott, I know you're a wrestling fan. I don't know if you watch any other sports like UFC or boxing or football or any other sports like that.
A lot of people watch UFC.
Yeah,
And
I like my fair share of football. I like UFC.
okay,
I
perfect.
just I
I
told
like
you
Brazzers.
tonight why I was so late to the podcast tonight, and thanks for still allowing me on.
Oh, of
so
course.
late.
Of course.
I just got done watching AEW, which was It's a new wrestling organization. It was fantastic. It was so good. It's like almost it felt like wrestling was made good again.
Nice.
That's how good it was.
Now, see, now everything you just mentioned, Scott, about the wrestling and all that stuff that you watch and how you like the UFC and stuff, with this GNR app, and Henry, I know you like watching movies. It has HBO and all that stuff on there. I know your wife likes UFC, and I know your wife likes football. $25 a month. You get this. You get this app. Excuse me. $25 a month. As soon as you go on, you sign up. You pay.
Well, where do you get the app? You what where?
It's gnrhosting.com. There's also a GNR TV Facebook group. And if you go to my well, it'll be posted out with this episode, but it was my last two episodes. And if you go to my cool pages episode, or sorry, my cool pages thing on my Podbean page, cool pages to check out,
Jesus Christ.
you'll see it on there. And you click the link, sign in there, or you make your little thing,
Yeah.
make an account. There you go with your email. You go in there, you pay for it, and when you cash out, use promo code SIRS30 for first-time subscribers, and you'll save $5 on your first month. So it'd be $20 a month, over 400 channels, including pay-per-views, the movie channels, and this one's for you, Henry. Brazzers is on there
Yeah, buddy.
in the Playboy channel, and I think it's Real TV. What's that real one called? Like reality porn, whatever, something.
Reality Kings.
That one. So you can get those.
Or so I've heard.
Yeah, me too. Rumors.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can get all those channels. $25 a month. And I said to use promo code SIRS30. You'll get $5 off your first month for first time subscribers. I've had this since, what are we in? May now? I've had this since March. Still have it now. I'm actually thinking about getting a second Fire Stick for this, just so I can have it on two different
High
TVs.
quality streaming and everything.
Yes.
No
Like
buffering.
it depends on your internet speed.
That
I'll say that.
depends okay.
But if
I
you have
pretty
good
internet,
if you have good internet speed, like if you're streaming regularly, you should be fine.
I am.
And
Look what I'm. Yeah.
nice, Jason X.
Yeah.
And like it's I love the freaking app. Listen, I was skeptical about it when I first, because my boy at work was telling me about it.
Because there's
And-
so many things.
Yeah,
Yo,
they say they offer a lot of stuff, and then you get it. It's like, oh man.
No, this
It's
this is legit. Like I wish I had it upstairs. I'll show you guys on the TV. I'll do it another time though. But yeah, my boy was telling me about it at work for months. He's like, "Oh, you should get it." And then he was like, "Why won't you get it?" He's like, "Why do you?" He's like, "It took you." He said, "Why did it take you so long to get it?" And I said, "Because I don't trust what white people tell me."
That's
Yeah, I
fair.
don't blame you. That's fair.
But
you know.
And,
Like, how? Well, so how, what do you got? You said you got a Fire Stick to
You don't
have the stream server.
you don't have
What
to have
else
a
can you?
you don't have to have a Fire Stick. Like you can use a computer, you can use an Xbox. Xbox web browser is better than a PlayStation web browser is, but the thing is it's for one it's for one like user. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you get a username. He'll send you a username. He'll send you a password. He'll send you a YouTube video on how to download it and everything like that. And he'll also give you some. He'll let you know about some other services you can use to watch movies on, which those ones are free. And it's just, it's a like I said, it's a great app. GNR TV, GNR Hosting. Go to gnrhosting.com or just go to my Podbean page, and you'll see the links on the cool pages to check out. Top 3 are his, and it's just like if you have any issues with it, you could post a message in the Facebook group. He'll send you a message. Hey, this is what you need to do. And as far
okay, so it's monitored a lot. Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
okay,
like again, you go on there, you sign up for it. I'll give it if you put it this way, if you sign up for it, give it a couple hours, I'll say, and he'll respond to you with the email because depending what's going on that day, but he'll respond to you with the email. Hey, here's the username, here's the password, here's the YouTube video, and if you have any
right.
trouble, hit him up, and he'll give you like his personal Facebook page, like to message him if you need to. He's always in the group, and he'll like walk you through the steps if you need to be walked through it. And like I said, I had it since March. I had I was telling Henry, I was telling Rome about this for months. He finally just signed up like 2 weeks ago. Christian and Michael both signed up about 2 or 3 weeks ago as well, and it's it's a great freaking app. It's worth the $25 a month.
For $20, I mean, a browser's account probably costs that much.
Yeah,
Pretty
So-
much. Yeah, their
But-
accounts are expensive, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
You
you
know,
got, like,
I mean, you just get that for free. That's kind of nice on top of all the channels, man.
yeah,
You don't even have to. You don't even
about-
have to use your phone.
Yeah. And then think about like HBO Go and Stars and all that stuff. Like,
Yep.
those subscriptions are $25 anyways.
Mhm.
So if you're gonna pay $25 and you get all those channels and all that other stuff, then that's one hell of a deal.
exactly. And that's why people should go out there and sign up for it. It's 20, and I mean, again, it's one of those things where it's like if you don't like it, which I know you'll love it, but if you don't like it, you pay the 20. Actually, you'd pay $20 if you use the promo code SURS30.
Right.
You get that $20 for the first month. You watch it. You know what? This really isn't for me. I'm just gonna stick to my streaming, or I'm gonna stick to paying this overpriced cable bill, paying $250 a month to watch everything that this guy's watching for $25. Not even what I'm watching. And then you also have to pay an extra $50-$60 every time you want to watch a UFC pay-per-view. No, $60-$70. Guess what? I don't. So get the GNR TV
Nice.
happen.
and
I mean,
promo code
that's-
SURS30. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. I promise you that. It's a great fucking app. It's awesome.
Hey, do me a favor. Message me the name again because I'll probably forget like 2 minutes out.
I will.
I'll talk to my roommates about it or something. Maybe it'd be something that we wouldn't mind investing into. I mean, $25 is pretty cheap,
Yeah,
And watching all the good stuff on good channels and pay-per-views and stuff, that'd be great, just to have. And then I can take that anywhere. So if
exactly.
I do,
That's
AEW has literally another pay-per-view in 2 weeks that they're doing.
Mhm.
So I could literally use that and bring it over to my buddy's house, and he has his computer hooked up to his TV, log
There you
in, watch the new AEW for
Just change the game.
that's another thing. If you go anywhere and you have high speed internet and you have it on your Fire Stick, let's say, anywhere you go, you can bring that with you. It's like, oh shit, I'm paying all this money for cable, and my ass is on vacation. I want to watch my movies. I want to watch my shows. I got this pay-per-view I want to watch. I don't want to go to the bar. Boom. Take that Fire Stick with you. Plug that bad boy in. Promo code SURS30. Get that. Save that $5 too.
Smackaroos.
Use those $5 to get some candy.
Yeah, good
Right.
old candy.
Yeah, get some Skittles.
Hell
Taste
yeah.
rainbow.
Maybe a water.
Skittles and water.
Mm-hmm.
You can
It's
go
not a
get.
bad
You guys
combination.
stay hydrated.
You're right about that. You can go get yourself a beer or maybe 2 beers from the gas station. Go back home, watch a
Yep.
movie, get a beer and a bag of chips.
Still
Yeah, get
cheaper.
some cheap beer. Get
Yeah.
$1.75 for a 40 ounce.
Oh, you can get a couple of those.
Orange.
You go to the Dollar Tree and just ball out.
Buy some steak.
Yeah. Buy some chips. Ball out of control. But again, that's the GNR TV, GNR hosting, promo code SURS30.
Buy
Cinco
it.
pesos.
If Sir
Now,
Sturdy's behind it,
is that
I'm
in the Play
behind it.
Store or is that third party app?
Third party. It'll be a third party app.
Okay.
But again, like I said, he'll send you once you sign up for it and all that and pay. He'll send you, he'll send you all the information you're gonna need. He'll send you the username and he'll send you the YouTube video on how to sign up for it. Now, another thing, no contracts, no hidden fees. Because I ain't about that bullshit. I wouldn't have it if there was contracts and hidden fees. So say you
Hidden
guys sign up.
charges and stuff. Yeah.
What month are we? We're in May. Let's say end of May. So say you guys sign up June 1st, and you're like, you know what? I don't want this anymore. Or in July, for whatever reason, you don't have that $20, $25. Sorry. You're fine. It's not auto pay, so you're not going to get. Your bank won't get overdrafted, and you can go back to it a month later or whenever you want it back, or you can just keep paying the $25 for it and keep it. Or I mean, you could if you really want
It's
to.
real user friendly. Sounds like.
It is. It is. It's real user friendly, and I love it. And it's get it, just get it. That's all I can say to you guys. Now I'm not just talking to you two. I'm talking to everybody who's listening to this episode when it drops. Get GNR TV hosting app, whatever you want to call it. GNR TV. You're gonna love it. And Tony the Tiger will call you great. He'll call you up and tell you that personally.
It's
You're
great.
Yep.
Nigga.
Well, for me, it's white bread.
Well, you could have passed.
All right. Well, I got stuff to do in the morning. People will see and whatnot, guys.
Well,
But,
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry I got on late, but AEW ran a little bit late, but it was still a fantastic pay-per-view. Again, it's always a pleasure jumping on, even if it's for an hour or a whole podcast, just talking horror stuff with you.
before you get off though, Scott, you want to plug anything before you bounce? I know you're a big Twitch guy and a big gamer, so you can plug that if you want.
Yeah. If you guys are interested in horror stuff, I play a lot of Dead by Daylight. I know. Henry, have you even played Dead by Daylight?
Not in a long time.
They're literally putting
It's gone.
Ghostface as the next killer.
I
Ghostface.
did see that.
Yeah, and at the end of his Maury, he takes a selfie with you after he kills you, which is pretty funny. but yeah, a lot of Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is one killer versus 4 survivors. I play a lot about that, but they have your iconic killers of Leatherface, Michael Myers, Freddy. As I said, they're just adding Ghostface plus some original killers of their own as well.
Ash Williams is gonna be on there.
Mm-hmm.
Ash is already playable, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's already playable. So I'm so surprised you haven't gotten the game there, Henry, because we're all big.
I downloaded it. Yeah, I downloaded it a while ago. There's just been so many games coming out.
Yeah.
I've just been
But
bouncing around.
anyway, yeah, I usually stream, at least try to stream 5 days a week.
Oh, nice.
You can find me at twitch.tv/GhostNappa101. And then my Instagram is the same. It's GhostNappa101. So look forward to seeing anybody that wants to jump in and check out some Dead by Daylight. If you're a horror fan, it's like the perfect game to definitely watch. So
Nice.
but other than that, that's pretty much the 2 things I use. Pretty much, I'm on Instagram most of the time. I do got a Twitter. It is still goes Snappo101, but I'm on Instagram a lot more than I'm on Twitter. So
All right.
Yeah, Twitter's
Nice. Thanks again for coming on, though, Scott. Greatly appreciate it. We're
Yeah,
definitely
no,
gonna do this again.
As I said, the next time, hopefully I can get on a little bit earlier and talk about more fun, topics. But what we talked about when I jumped in was still pretty awesome. So it's
Yeah, yeah.
always a
Oh
good
yeah,
time with you.
definitely.
Always a good time.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care, everybody, and
Take it
I'll
easy.
hopefully see you guys in a couple podcasts or something.
Oh,
I'll have
definitely.
to plan something.
We'll keep in touch,
Uh,
man.
yep.
Have a good night, man.
Yeah. And Henry, anytime you want to play Dead by Daylight, you just give me a text. Still got my number,
Yes, sir.
right? Right, man.
It's still same. Is it still the same?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just message me over Facebook. Just make sure we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's. I don't want you texting
Cool,
my
yeah.
number. All right,
Yeah, that'd be weird.
later, guys.
All right, man.
Later.
You getting off too, Hank? You going night night?
Yeah. I'm gonna go lay down. I got some fishing to do in the morning.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna go finish Jason X in my room and hope that Rylan doesn't wake up. Although he wouldn't be scared, but he's just not ready for this.
yeah, I hear you with that. I'm not even that tired, but I'm
like, we play games where like I'm a zombie and he shoots me with his Nerf gun.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I put my costume on, but we've been playing like he would be like a zombie from World War Z.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd be like a screamer or a bull, and he ran up to me and started like grabbing me, like he was like slamming me, like the bull does. And I'd be like, all right, and I'd be like, bang, bang. He's like, no, you gotta shoot me more. Like he loves that game.
Oh yeah, I bet he does. Is he still real violent? Like when you get down, is he stomping on you like he was when he was younger?
He still does that occasionally. Yeah, he got that from watching me play Resident Evil.
Oh man.
It's like I'll lay on the ground, act like I'm dead, and then he'd leave the room and then come back and then just like step onto my head or like my back, make sure I'm dead, and then Lyle copies him.
I see.
Lyle, I got to get a video of him doing it, but he'll walk around with his arms out like,
oh, you
like
gotta
that,
do that.
Make the noises. Yeah, Rylan did the same thing.
That's awesome. You're gonna have two horror fans running around with you.
Well, Rylan loves Goosebumps. He loves World War Z, Walking Dead.
Nice.
That's about the extent of it. But yeah, he loves.
No, I get it. He'll get into it more when he's older and you let him watch a little. He's still young.
Yeah, there's so much.
Mm-hmm. Let him get into that slowly.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, this was fun as usual.
And you're off obviously Monday, so we'll get into some games tomorrow night.
Word. I'm off Monday and Tuesday, so.
Cool.
Yeah, we definitely should.
We have a visitor coming. I'm going to pick up Uncle John on Tuesday.
Oh, that's awesome. Tell him I said, whack-a-dow. He'll know what that means.
I know Ryan's sleeping. But, yeah, Ryan doesn't know. It's a surprise.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But, well, yeah. I guess we could wrap this one up. You got anything else you want to say before we go?
No.
You got a name for this episode?
A while,
Huh?
This is our first podcast in a while.
I know.
So I guess we're back.
Yes, we are.
Back in black.
Back in black in the flesh. And we'll be doing this a lot more now.
Yeah.
Well, I'll hit you up tomorrow or something. We'll figure out what we want to do for next weekend.
Yeah, just text me.
And we'll be gaming and shit. But
yeah,
I guess we could wrap. Like I said, you got anything else? Or you good? You good?
No, I'm good. I really don't have anything to plug. I'm not even on Twitter that much, and
yeah,
I post, on the horror page.
Yep.
But,
Yep. Well, on that note, ladies and gents, you already know. Check out the Facebook groups. Keep showing love. And if you ever want to be on an episode with us, shoot me an email, horrorwithsir30, horrorwithsir.sturdy@gmail.com. Again, that's horrorwithsir.sturdy@gmail.com. Had a great-ass time with these guys on this podcast. Henry, thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
And again, last thing I will say about this, GNR TV, get it. GNRhosting.com, go get it. Check out my cool things pages. Check out all those awesome pages on there, but get that GNR, promo code SIR30, and save or save $5 on your $25 thing for the first month, first time subscribers. You will enjoy that. And thanks for listening. Thanks for all the support. Please keep it coming. Let's keep this podcast growing again, growing more. And as always,